Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Everybody, it's Golden Guys. It's Tuesday night. Welcome to Shady Acres. I'm your host, JD. Welcome, you're Dorothy. Happy birthday, Betty White. She's 99 years old. We are just like the Golden Girls without all the sex appeal. So enjoy this part of the show. We are here right now, and let's introduce some people right now. Let's start with this guy over here, Mr. Jeff, Golden Age Guru. How we doing, my friend?
What's up, guys? Here's some Kirby hands for you while we're here. Yo, doing well, man. Doing well. Just secured a book that I'm so excited to have on its way. So I'll show that next week. It's been great to it was on my top of my wish list towards the end of last year, and literally within a week it popped up out of nowhere. Like, I never see the book. It's nothing like mainstream crazy like Cap ones or nothing like that, but just an awesome Fox book. Super stoked. So anytime you can secure something you love in your collectible, it's like a brighter day. I swear to God, it feels like the sun's a little bit brighter, the birds are singing a little louder, so I'm in a good mood.
Very good, very good. I'm excited.
So you finally got that Moondragon first appearance as well.
No, I got that one. I found that one.
6.75. I'm excited.
6.75. Yep. What about you, Mr. Micah, Knights of Old? How are we doing?
I'm doing well. 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
worked yesterday. I'm tired.
I worked on the weekends. So.
I don't know. I don't have much, but I have this comic book I haven't shown on here before.
Oh wait, yeah. Well, let's bring you on let's put you on the big screen here tonight. Ooh,
look at the detail in that beauty.
You love your Schomburgs. We love Schomburg here.
Flag
right there, Captain America, dropping the bomb. Oof. Bombs away.
In
Great.
Berlin.
Late Alan Bell. Actually, everybody involved in that book is late and great. Alan Bellman was one of the original designers of that, or came up with stuff. And that's a 2-0, number 37.
Sid Shores.
Sid Shores, yeah.
Doing the inside.
Nice. So sitting there.
Schomburg on the outside.
Nice.
Schomburg on the outside. Sid Shores on the inside. Tastes great.
Yeah, it does. Oops, sorry, everybody. Yeah, I had a good weekend. I ended up going to a pawn shop, and the guy had a rack of comics. Nothing golden, but I'll share anyway, because one of the things you could find in pawn shops is good prices and graded and priced by people who most of the time don't know what they're doing. But at the same point in time, you show them respect and you reprice all their books for them. They give you a deal. So I picked up.
Wait a minute. Have you guys ever gone to a pawn shop and felt like, is this where my story ends?
No. There's enough weapons in a pawn shop in Nebraska. You got nothing to worry about.
I've been in some weird ones.
Yeah. Now, we have a lot of good ones here in town. It's actually pretty common in the Midwest for finding great stuff at these things because people move often from here.
These were in the Midwest.
It's definitely one of those hidden gem places to look for things. And they're always negotiable on the price. Cash only if you want to do it that way. Always get you a bigger discount. Those are the rules. It's up to you what you want to do.
So you don't have the Pulp Fiction style.
Ooh, speaking of that, no, I've been to some seedy ones. Don't get me wrong. I was at one yesterday. They didn't have any comics though, but they did have ammo. So that's kind of tough to come by. So I did. Who's got stuff to show and tell outside of Nights? You got anything, Jeff? Okay, I got a few things here. None of them are Golden Age comics, but you're all gonna like it. I promise, unless you're one of those. So first off, the book pickups. Picked up another one of these for my collection. I know it's first appearance of Moondragon, but I actually think this might be an upgrade to mine. I don't really grade my books all the time.
That's the ball. with the green something?
Yeah, if there's a Moondragon, there's a Sinead O'Connor first appearance in the.
But she's like a cosmic.
Right, she's a cosmic character. If you don't know, she appears in Daredevil. She's a.
And you're saying Starlin
she has a Thanos relationship. If you know the Thanos relationship down there,
and Starlin created her.
And there's it's great work. I love the artwork on it.
Wait, but did Stalin create
her? Yes, Starlin is a creative Moondragon, and that's why
cool.
this is the first ever Jim Starlin work at Marvel.
That's cool.
Not his first work ever. If you want to know what that is, it's one of the great hidden gems if you find it. It's also the first work of George R.R. Martin. Same book out of Austin, Texas. I've seen a few of them on eBay, and I didn't pull the trigger. So that's it. But if you know what it is and you find it, you go get it. There may be 2,000 copies of it right there. And I picked up some more.
You're not telling us what it is.
No, you do your research, man. I'm not going to be competing against 28 people or so. 18 on Facebook and 10 on another channel.
I'm going to buy it right now out from under you.
Yeah, you will. So I got some 2 Journey Mysteries. Possible upgrades for me. If not, I just like having these things. I love my Kirby Thors. These actually, the one thing I like about this run from 90 to 995 with the old title on it, I have 83, 84, 85, 86, I know that. But my favorite part is the interiors of this have some of the best Kirby Thor work ever. He got really into the zone with these, and most of the stuff you see in the Thor series from 126 on up to, let's say, 167, 166, really, this is where it really came to fruition, was the interiors of this stuff. Great work. Love Loki stories. So anything with Loki, I'm a huge fan.
You got those at a pawn shop?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and they had other ones. They had other Journey Mysteries, but much more the common ones, the ones after 100.
How much?
For those 3 books and 10 rounds of 20 gauge, double odd buck was $200 cash.
I don't know how much that is.
That's like $20. Right now, you've got to figure on a shoddy, it's about $1 a bullet. Let's show some cool stuff. So first off, this was a find and a quick negotiation with the guy, and then I spent Saturday morning at the framer before I went over to the pawn shop, and I decided to frame it myself. The guy lets me touch some stuff. This is the great Tom Palmer, a painted Darth Vader. Tom Palmer, if you don't know, did almost so many inkings and so much work in Star Wars that he's synonymous with it as much as Howard Chaykin, Cynthia Martin, Dave Dorman, and the like. Some of my favorite, just my favorite character, if you think about it. James Earl Jones, my favorite actor ever, for all his roles, to be honest with you. But this is just classic, great Tom Palmer. I mean, one of the things about getting one of these things, you never know where the signature is going to be, and I couldn't ask for a better placement right there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Palmer. Beautiful piece. Total bargain, because I know how much he charges for a commission like this at a con. Probably about half the price I got it for. Real good deal. Off of the bay, just negotiations with the guy over and over.
What do you like better, Thor or Darth Vader?
Well, I always tell everybody it's always been 2 different characters for me. Vader was first, because I didn't start getting into Thor and because I saw Star Wars in 77. My first comic book was Star Wars 1. Got it in December of 77 for my birthday. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. My sister bought them for me. So if you think that's fun, she paid full price of them. I imagine they were 35 centers, but she didn't want to do it, and I can't forgive her for that. But she paid 30 cents a piece for those 4, and that's what I got for my Christmas or birthday in 1977. Then when I first started buying books on my own, Thor was obviously there, but I got my first Thor when I was 6, and it was Thor number 136, because right after that I ended up getting a bunch of other ones of the more what was going out at that time. And when I bought New Book, my first book I ever purchased with my own money, well, 3 of them at a time, was when I got $5 on my birthday in December of 1983. Went to the shop and there were 3 books. There were 3 Thors. Actually, there were 4 Thors, but I picked up. I got all 4. I have all 4 still. It's 337, 338, 339. Walt Simonson, Betty Ray Bill trilogy. Got $5. Got that. It was we were at the tree lighting ceremony in Rockefeller Center. It was way too early. It's kind of like a birthday tradition. My cousin, who was a big comic fan, his uncle, my uncle, gave me $5 for him and $10 for him. He went out and bought a bunch of Spider-Man at that time, so he got a lot of good books too. So, but Anthony, our good friend Anthony, did a online with the great Bill Cox on Comic Art Fans. Did one of his Sunday auction or Sunday con specials where Anthony's at one of the local cons in the New Jersey area, and he broadcasts live and he does deals there and talks to the talent that's around. Usually in New Jersey, you can get 4 or 5 good artists really quickly over there. I actually have a local con here this weekend I'm very excited about. I'm saving up a little bit of stuff for that because I plan on making this guy a final offer. But this piece here by the great Cynthia Martin, who did a lot of work on the Star Wars series after starting, I think, in 98, not the year 98, number 98, because you don't see her do anything anymore. She doesn't do much. Again, I took it to the framer and did it myself, but this is a beautiful piece. It is really good. Check this out here. Ooh, we got a surprise coming in here now. Let me know when you're ready, Legend. Put up that thumb. All right, look at this guy. There he is. Oh, sorry. What's up, Ledge? How we doing?
Man, great to see y'all here tonight on the Golden Guys, man.
So
look at Vader there, looking good.
Look at this with the great little I am. This is the just before he jumps up. That's not true. That's impossible. Search your feeling. You know it to be true. Great stuff right here. Absolutely fantastic.
I think you'd have a better Darth Vader impression.
I do a really good Vader when I yell at my kids. When I yell at my kids, it only comes out in the James Earl Jones voice. Simba, I go, the one, you are the one true king.
Was it Luke? I am your father?
Nope.
Or was it no? I am your father. All right.
Yeah, my favorite. The best part about that movie, Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite movie ever, in my opinion, is the 20 minutes and 15 seconds in when he's sitting there just like this.
Wait, are you sure?
1,000%. 20 minutes, 15 seconds in, and it's exactly 1 minute long. And it's when the first time you see him, and the first words he says in the whole thing is, "You found something." And the next line he goes is, in a split second, noticing the snow, like over the shield generator right there, immediately knows it's snow because he had the vision of Luke, which we didn't know about unless you read the comic. In the comic, he has a vision of Luke and Obi-Wan talking, and it's in the snow, and he's looking for him everywhere. Probe droids all over the place. And if he walks over and he looks at it for 1 second, he goes, "That's it." And the guy says, and this stupid admiral, who is clumsy as he is stupid, turns around and flat out says, so there's so many uncharted territories. That's it. The rebels are there and Skywalker is with them. Just a great line. And then set your course for the hot system. General Veers, prepare your men. Just a great stuff right there. And General Veers, by the way, General Veers was also
JD had a few cups of coffee right before the show.
4 Dr. Peppers trying to keep up. I had a killer day at work. It was a great day. Really,
wait for a little sweet to pop out of somewhere.
But just good stuff. I mean, and then the guy who plays General Veers was in Game of Thrones as well as Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So very cool. So let's go see what we got here. Everybody, you know what, Legend? Let's put you to work right away. Why don't you shout?
Come on, Legend.
Man, let's check out this chat tonight. We got all the folks here in the lights that are bright. We got Ricky Marstad in the house dropping that Discord link so you other folks don't have to think. You just click on the link and it'll take you right to the Discord server. Mr. Gretzky, congratulations. He says, "Hi, guys. Just pulled the trigger on Action Comics 303. Now I am 290 to 904 complete." Damn, that's pretty freaking awesome.
Wow, that's a lot of books.
Great to see Nightwing 69 as well in the house. We got Jambo Comics. What's going on, my friend? Who else? Well, we got the NC Slapjacks. We got Anthony Purdue in the house. He loves it, man. He loves him some Golden Guys.
I mean, we have declared him our fact checker without the censorship. Our fact checker, our great historian. And we appreciate Anthony so much. Thank you so much for joining us again on the show.
Anthony, thank you. Emperor's Collectibles. Emperor's, great to see you. We got Comic Mag Musings. He's one of the best.
Yep.
Oh, look, we got John Sin. What's up, John
Yes.
Sin? It's good to see John Sin in the house. Who else we got here? C. Holmes. What's up, C. Holmes? Good to see C. Holmes, man. We got a lot of folks. Hey, we got GAG, Golden Age Gurus here. He knows it's the place to be, along with C. Holmes. We got C. Holmes again. Veronica Lake fan, man. You got to love that Veronica Lake, man. If you like Veronica Lake, check out Ken Basinger and LA Confidential. I said, damn. All right, so who else we got? Chris Bear. All right. Yeah, everyone's here, JD.
Very good. Thank you very much, Legend.
The classic. He likes Return of the Jedi. You know, those Ewoks, though, dude.
Oh, no, I don't mind the Ewoks. You had to save some money because you couldn't afford real-size people to do Wookiees, so you had to do Ewoks. So one of my...
You know why she cut her hair here?
Why?
It was like a public service thing because all the girls were getting their hair caught in the machinery at the factory.
Tie it all up, cut it up, put it in the hat.
So part of Golden Guys is definitely the pulp world. And I do have an announcement to make that in April sometime we'll be doing...
Hey, did you even let Golden Age do his intro yet?
Oh, yeah. Jeff's here. Yeah, he let off. He let off. Legend let... Oh, I don't have a... I need you a theme song. That's what I need. You gotta get
I got a comic. What the heck? I'll pull one.
Oh, is that a victory? What I think it is? Major Victory?
Yeah, it's not a personal collection one, but it's one I just got in.
Nice.
Cool. Major Victory, Chesslers. I'm a big fan of Chesslers.
Very tough book to find, by the way.
I love this cover. It's only a 3-issue run, but I think it's my favorite probably. I mean, the first one's got a lot of swastikas on it, but this is pretty dynamic.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Gus Ricka art.
Yep. I was going to say
that
the great Gus Ricka right there, one of the best Chesler artists there is. And
I think there might be some Tusca interiors too.
Correct. I was going to say George Tusca got its start doing a lot of stuff with
looking at that book, Jeff. It looks to be 6.5. What do you think?
It's a really nice book. My problem is that there's some animal chewed through the whole thing, so I'm having trouble grading it.
Yeah,
because really, it's a nice book. I put it as a 3.0 because I nailed it. If that wasn't there, I mean, this is like,
how's the spine?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, guys. I mean, like, I'd say as is. Like, if this book had that whole corner, it'd probably be a 4 or 5.
Yeah. What kind of vermin?
A really nice 4 or 5. So
rats or dogs. Nice of old wants to know.
I believe it was a tag tip situation between silverfish and rats.
So it might have been damp, you don't know. So
those silverfish.
Let's talk a little about pulps a little bit before we go into last week's show and everything else. We have an announcement to make on the show. We're doing a pulp exclusive show coming up in mid to late April, working on that, and we'll have some special guests from some major auction houses possibly. I'm working out the details right now. And we'll get some previews. We'll get some previews of a very nice thing going on. And
are we going to see a story?
I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you this. So I was talking about this the other last night with a few guys, about some pulp guys, and I was explaining how in all story we don't know what a new one would go for, because the last one that sold was in missing pages, like which right off the bat, or reattached, or just reattached in there, and it was about a good to VG minus. So the value of it shocked everybody what it went for. Pulps are so hot right now that there's a pulp that went the other day that I swear to you is valued in the price guide, which is the Bible, which I'll get over there. I'll have my wife bring it over, which is the pulp Bible, about $200. It went for $3,600. And to show you this, it's a great cover and everything else. Pulp people, or people that are now
pulp people
finding a new thing, are now getting into pulp. So I've got cases of pulps over here, waiting to negotiate with CGC on helping them build a slab. The problem you have with the pulps is not only are they big and terrible, they don't like to grade them because of the fragility of the paper. But it's
They
easy.
don't want to count all those pages.
Yeah, they don't want to count the pages, and it's very hard to do. There's a lot of work involved with them. I personally
There it is.
may or may not. That's All Stories 1, first appearance of Tarzan. I'll give you the year and everything. I'll get my pulp book. I'll do that.
1912.
1912. It is. I mean, I think the next one that comes to market. Somebody asked me this. What do you think of non? All right, there's only 20 known to exist, and 12 of them are restored or have some sort of restoration or something missing.
I don't know if it's number one though. I'm not sure about
That's
that.
not number one. It's not number one. It's the third.
October 1912.
Right, it's the third of the title, I think. I'll have to look at the indicia. I have it over there as well. But one of the things about pulps, if you're interested in getting them and everything else like this, they range in value from $5 to $5 million. So it's very
$5 million.
I would say that if you had a Tarzan, this is my theory on this one. I'm going to say it right now. The best, if you had the Tarzan in the highest grade possible, I could see that outpassing or at least competing with an Action 1 because of the true scarcity. The true scarcity of it and the recognition of who the person is. The other part about it is the pulps themselves are so hot right now, we don't know what would happen.
What about Senorita Scorpion?
Never happened.
You don't think it'll ever break 2 million?
I can't say never because of inflation, but
What if
no
they made a
way.
slab? What if
Scarcity doesn't make a difference for price? It's not scarcity that drives it.
It is in the pulp world because you've got the 5 categories of rarity. You've got rare, very rare is the highest, then rare, then scarce, and then you get into the semi, and then you get into uncommon, common. What's common is everything.
You have that for comics too,
right?
If you want to do that, but really, it's ultimately when the time comes, it's going to go by grade.
And the title.
Okay, eventually it'll just go by grade. It'll go by the issue. Then it'll go by demand. And scarcity is great and all, but like, there's no freaking way it's gonna ever outpace an Action Comics. A Tarzan.
You'll never have a comic in the grade. You'll never have a pulp in there. But if a pulp was in a near mint condition, All Stories from October of 1912, you're talking millions of dollars because it doesn't exist or nobody known to exist. So it's not like there's a registry for this stuff or anything. And if you want to see how pulps are going right now, there are so many books that are going for really high premiums. You could find them at your local antique shop, and those are usually, you never know what you're finding there. I found some gems where I bought a whole box for $300 of like $75, almost 50 cents of a dollar on the piece. You wanted to get rid of them. I kept most of them, but one of them I looked at and I knew what it was right away. It was an Argosy that was pretty well known from 1921. And I said, well, this just paid for the whole thing right here. And I put it out there. I put it out for $300 based on the guide, plus a little 30% increase right there. It sold in seconds, and I saw it about a month later sell for $1,000. So you never know.
Go that high. I think you'd have at least, all right, to even get close, you'd have to at least have CGC on board.
Right. That's the whole thing. Eventually, it's
and
going
then
to happen.
Still even 5 million. I don't even know. There's books that don't even go that high.
I will tell you right now, if that 9.0 Action 1 came out right now, somebody's going to pay $5 for it.
Well,
it may. I mean, 3.8 was the last sale with everything included, right? So was it 3.3 or 3.8?
Are you talking about
the Action 1?
3.3 or 3 like? Oh, you're talking about the price.
3.3 or 3.8 million.
Oh,
okay. It was a 9.0.
Yeah, so it wasn't like 3.2 on eBay. Are you talking about that one that was sold out of here from Washington, out of Puyallup area?
Right. Yeah. Now that was what, 3 years ago?
Maybe 4 now.
4 years ago. We just saw a Batman 1 sell for 2.2.
9.4 white. Like I believe you. Like if Metro wanted to sell that 9.0. They could possibly, maybe somebody's out there to pay $5. I mean,
I can't see it.
Can't say no to that one.
Outpacing the same. It's not a Superman one. We're talking an Action 1 here. Absolutely, I could see that. Topic I was thinking of: what shocked you about the recent auctions that we had of the books that we discussed? I will say now the one that I just want to throw out the one that shocked me the most is the one I talked about the most. Hands down, $20,000 for the Fantastic Three and a 0.5, missing a back cover. Like I said, you'll never see a one presenting that well again because it looks on surface higher than a 6. So if you look at the CGC registry, there's not many of them. So they're higher than a 6. I think there's just a church copy. That was the biggest one that shocked me for $20,000. I was in the 12 to possibly 15 range. The other cohorts I was talking to was saying 15 would be a little high, but maybe. Nobody I know said 20,000. I mean, but now we think 10.5 has to fetch more than you thought it would. Yeah, exactly, a lot more. And that's what. Thank you. So why it did is why I think we'll see one or two more before the end of 2021. We're going to see the 1.5 or the 2.0 or maybe the 3.5. I would like to see them hit the market. If you have it and you're willing to sell it, I know every Golden Age collector right now wants to talk to you, wants to know if you're interested in selling it. It is, I love that book. I think everybody loves that book. If you want to know what we're explaining here, if you're new to Golden Age collecting or anything else, it is right here. This is my version of a 9.0 here.
Aren't you afraid though that some of these scarcities just might be, some hoarding people like this guy on
absolutely
like this guy on Instagram?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he can have all those he wants. They're not. That just shows you my point. You can't do that with a Fantastic Three.
Well, we don't know what
we know somebody who's hoarding Fantastic Threes. There is one person who has quite a few of them, and that's one of the reasons that this market is artificially inflated. There's several pedigrees that still haven't been graded that I know of that people talk about in their collection.
I heard the Northland exists, so
okay. So does the Bethlehem, I believe it was from last time I remember. The guy didn't want to, and another guy has quite a few copies. A very high-profile person. I'm not going to talk about. If you know, you know.
Yep.
That book is, to me, one of the most overvalued books in the Golden Age right now. God bless you if you bought it. More power to you. I'm not going to disrespect any of it. I'm just telling you, for me, I was afraid it was going to hit that number. And it's just, it's a great book, man. Enjoy it. It's cool. But for me, it's just, I consider it to be way overvalued at 0.5. I mean, like,
if you just go by grade, I get it, but the presenting value of it, the reason it's a 0.5 is missing the back cover. There's not like a lot of stuff on the cover that's missing or anything else.
Okay.
If you look carefully at it, it presents pretty much like it does in one of these books here. It presents really well with high color. So I'm going to give that a little premium. So I still don't think 20,000, but that's why my premium was 15. 20 is a big jump for me in that grade of any book, with the exception of maybe the big two. But I don't know. What do you? That's what shocked me the most.
I don't think you can say though much about what it makes the other books worth because we haven't seen that book in so long.
Right, but I think we will see more by the end of this year. Several. Because you have to take advantage of that new.
But if they're thinking like, oh, a 0.5 is 20, so
what do you think a 3.0 is going to go for? Let's just say.
I don't think it.
I'm going to say a 3.0 right now is going to walk past $50,000 and not look back.
65K, JD.
That's a good number right there. I mean, that's a great number. I mean, it's going to walk past 50,000 when I would think a week ago or a week and a half ago, when it broke the 12, I was like, okay, this is nervous. Still has 4 days to go. When let's just say,
you would advise someone to, if they could buy one for 55K, do it, and then you'll make at least 5K.
Well, I don't know if you want to treat this as a book as currency, because of the limited.
So if you were going to flip it, how much would you pay?
I wouldn't flip it. How much? I would never flip it. But.
I thought you were sure on the price.
I'm sure. I'm not sure. I'm taking a guess here.
I think there's quite a lot of people that would pay more than 65 for that book.
I think that's what's coming up. Where would you say that 10 days ago?
So how much would you invest in?
What I said it 10 days ago, probably not.
Yeah,
right.
But I would have been like 65, maybe I would. It's hard for me to think about that at this point, where I would have thought that, because
10 days ago, I probably would have said about 35 to 40 at the most.
Maybe.
and
So
that
how
was
much
that was
would
my
you
number.
guess? How much would you gamble on that to flip?
A 3-0. If I were a flipper,
I pay 65 to flip it.
yeah, I think,
85
I would
to 90.
flip it that way. Yeah, I mean,
So you think a 3.0 could sell for 90K?
85
yeah,
to
I
90. I'm
tell
sure
you
if
what,
you find the right buyer, because people
I
are getting
am-
desperate.
I
think
am.
they're getting-
Yeah,
I think they're getting towards the end of their collecting, and they're just like, I'm tired of waiting, and I want to add it, and that's part of it. If you're at a point where you have a long game wait and you can wait for it, I think there'll be copies to be had at some point. But if you've been waiting and you're just done waiting, you were a nice presenting copy. That was it. But I like.
True. I've been there before.
I mean, there's a lot of people with a lot of money right now, and that's probably like what, half of a Bitcoin. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
be
not-
honest. It's a Bitcoin, so they
So-
broke 36,614
That's
today.
because when you score something, say you walk into your pawn shop and you get some book that's worth $2,000
Mhm.
and you paid $5 for it,
Well, yeah.
you'll easily that night overpay $1,000 or more on the book you want because I just made $2,000. So it's like that's the same thing for the Bitcoin. Some of those Bitcoin guys,
Oh,
they didn't spend much and they got a ton. So it doesn't matter if they overpay.
I had a guy offer me some Bitcoin for a book that was $600, and I said, absolutely no way. If I had it now, I could have probably bought an Action 1. So you figure about that. I mean, not the 9.0, 9.4, but maybe a 7.5 or 7.0 probably. It was over. It's ridiculous.
Hey, I'm going to tell you one thing.
But I
really
probably
quick.
I probably would have got rid of the Bitcoin as well the second it doubled, because that's me 101.
Mr. Gretzky sent me a message today. He says, "Yeah, Rob, I should have got in on the Bitcoin and the Fantastic Four keys back in 2012 like you did." And I was like, "Yep, you should have."
There you go. So now continuing with that, in any of the auctions that we did over we still got one going on, but in that heritage auction, what shocked you guys the most?
For me, I can tell you another book outside of that one. That's
Yeah,
shocked me.
that's what I want to hear.
Was Weird Comics #1. It was a 7.0, I believe. I
Mhm.
think it was a 7.5, 7.0 that went for something like $21,000+. I did not expect that book to hit that number. That shocked me. I figured maybe it's a $10,000 to $12,000
That's
book.
what I was thinking. I was going to say
But 21 or 23 or whatever it hit, I can't remember off the top of my head. I was like, wow. I mean, did not expect that.
when we were going through and looking at that book, one of the things I was thinking about when I saw what the bid was at the time, I said, if this thing does break 15, 18's not out of the question, and it could go that high. And I have never seen. That's obviously of everything we're talking about. The last two have been all-time records for those in the grade, no doubt about it. But the one good thing, I kind of think that one of the things that we have to think about that weird book was that's start of a run. So I think maybe, the days of collecting that book or trying to complete the runs are over now. Weird Comics were great books. If you ever get your hand on any, congratulations.
Weird,
you.
Wonderworld, Flame, Mystery
Yep.
Man. I mean, I've been preaching Fox books for years and years in the price guide every year. And it's good to see Fox are just getting
Love this
ridiculously
book.
hot.
This is one of my favorites right here of the Mystery Men run.
How much did you think that book was going to go for? 10?
10 to 12 probably.
Well,
I mean, I didn't really pay
Yeah.
that much attention to it, so I finally saw it close, and I was like, whoa.
And it is a really high grade. So let's be honest, it's a very high grade for that book.
I thought there was still like another 4 or 5 books that were above that. I thought I looked at the census.
The one, while you have the church copy, right?
Actually, let me just look it up. I'll just confirm.
Yeah.
I thought there was like another.
I'll go over I have one. It's a pair, and I have a Golden Age one too, but this one just kind of shocked me. And maybe this is not a shock to you guys, but I don't know these books that well. So we have a 9.8
Mm-hmm.
Strange Tales. What number is this? That's
161.
165.
So that's Jim Steranko.
And that sold for $1,100. 140. Okay. I
Mhm.
can see that. But then we also had a 9.8 150,
Mm-hmm.
9,600.
All right, now show this cover. That's a Maurice Severin cover. It's
I just want to understand that a little bit. Is it just some guy fighting the other guy to get the only 9.8 or something?
maybe the 150 Strange Tales has got a little story behind it. It's a Maurice Severin comic. It's got a great Dum Dum Dugan story in there, but it's also, according to the CGC label, it says John Buscema's first work at Marvel. It's a complete lie. It's not CGC's fault. But the providence is John Buscema did a Marvel book, did the cover of Tales of Suspense #3, and he worked for Atlas way back in the day, from Crime Fighters 4 to Mystery Comics, and then he did Blaze Carson and a bunch of these kids. So the one thing about it is a surprise is the fact that it broke any $2,000 level. I think it's way high.
Yeah,
I think somebody, but if you have a guy who's got 9/8 of every other one of the Doctor Strange titles, I could see my boy Timvo pay for that.
Oh yeah. A true fan, like if that's your character, I mean, like if that was a Fantastic Four book, yeah, I would definitely put some money down for a freaking 9/8 classic like that. You know,
I've done it with Thors. You know, I paid a little premium for minor key Thors that were higher than a 9.4 that I know that were early silver portions and some Journey into Mysteries.
All right, so here's my Golden Age one.
Show it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think that would go.
Poor Man's Mask outdid the man.
Wow, yeah, the Poor Man's Mask, 12K, 7.5, man.
Good price. Strong.
And a nice book too.
Yeah.
We wish we had DS here to discuss the LB coldness of it, but
he would love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought a little low. This guy.
Comics. Yeah.
The Wonder.
It's a 1.0, right? Isn't that what it was?
Talking rare books. This one did not do so well. Yeah, this was the 1.0.
Yep. First appearance of there.
Low.
Now, Guru, what was your thoughts on the Power, the LB Cole Power book? Do you think? I mean, we know that there's a lot more of them.
I've just never liked that cover, but it demands a high price. So congrats to the guy in IG. I forget his name on top of my head who won it. He's posted about it. Kudos. Just for me, it's not, for me, I like LB Cole to a certain degree and to a certain extent. Some people just like LB Cole in general. Black cover LB Cole, it's like automatic win for,
right.
You make it that way. But yeah, I don't know. It's what was it, a 7.5?
7.5.
Where's that on the census? I didn't give it much thought.
Oh, there's a bunch out there, and I bet you.
Yeah.
Let me look right now.
I'd still rather have this.
The classic,
and that went for a little bit less than expected. Actually, I thought that would go higher.
Yeah,
78.
There's a guy I was talking to who. I'm sorry. Show that again.
Oh,
right here. Here we go.
Here we go. Now,
go ahead.
Really strong price for this, and the one. What was it? A 1.0 that was in, or a 2.0 that was in the 6,200 range. We had this a lot higher. We had this close to the 10,000 range.
Yeah, for sure. And really quick on that LB Cole Powers, when I think about it, like I have seen Blue Bolts selling for extremely high prices in the 7.0, 7.5 range. So to see that as a 7.5 go for that, maybe it's not shocking. I'm just not the biggest fan of that. So kudos to the winner.
Yep.
And what about this one? I think we thought maybe it could go this high.
Which one was that?
Pep Comics.
Yeah, I think we were pretty much right there on the nose. We said anywhere between 13 to 15, and I think one of you guys even said 14. It might have been there. I think that was a really good. I think that was a great value for both buyer and seller.
Now, what would you rather have?
Oh, you know what I'd rather have? I'd take that fucking thing. How much did that go for?
75?
72, yeah.
Now, what would you rather have, that or this?
I'd rather have
I'd have the fucking 2.5, man.
Yeah.
2.5 Wiz Comics.
There's a 3.5.
Oh, a 3.5? That was 72 fucking K.
Yeah, I think that went lower than we thought. Well, I will say this: private sale during the
Good fucking deal, though. I mean,
before the COVID, about a couple of months before the COVID happened, a private deal on a 5.5 went for 115,000.
Okay, so
that was a negotiated price, so it's kind of like on par for where it should be.
Or you could get
private sale with cash versus buyer's premium. The what?
Or you could get a somewhat mediocre Jim Lee.
Yeah, that's you're not going to get me talking about. I mean, of all my original art, I think this is again. We were joking what it was going to go for, but it did break the number we said it was going to do. We said 100 to 125 at the most, but you never know with original art. It's just as a Jim Lee piece, and it's not old, and it's just not anything other than a splash page.
Or would you rather have?
I want the Silver Surfer. Are you going to show the Silver Surfer?
Would you rather have that Batman 1 or 6 or 5 of these boxes?
Those boxes over the Batman one.
Those boxes. I
mean, for resale. For resale
value, you'll absolutely do that very well.
I was working at Eckerd Drug when those cards came out. I had no idea what they were. So, yeah, we just put them out at the front, Pokemon, whatever. Then the second year, it was those Pogs. And then, the kids just love that shit. Oh, and I also was there when the very first Furbies. No, not Furbies. It was the Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
Like, all these little crazes. But it's so funny to look back at that and know that those Pokemon cards are about as worth as much as a Batman one. I also love Michael's way he does these. This or this kind of reminds me of Scott Hall. Are you here to see WCW or you here to see the? That's what it reminds me of, Michael. Are you a wrestling fan? Do you know that?
I don't know that guy, but I like some old wrestling.
Yeah, it was an old Razor Ramon gimmick anyway.
We all gotta get our toothpicks in our mouth and
exactly.
Throw them at the camera.
Say hello to the bad guy. One of the just a little background on the powers. There's a 9.6, 9.4, a 9.0, and an 8.0. Then there are 4 7.5s, a 7.0, and then there are a total of 29 blue labels currently on the CGC census. And I didn't look at the CBCS census, but I have seen 1 or 2 in the CBCS, which I absolutely count. It's just as good. I mean, if you don't like it, just change the slab.
I like both of them.
I absolutely. People ask me what's the best one. I'm like 6 of one, have a dozen, man. To each his own.
Whatever you can get, whatever comic book you're looking for comes in, just leave it in there. Or if you like, JD says, if you don't like it, just change it to whoever you like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. They'll take out the slab for you, regrade it, and maybe not even regrade if you don't want it to. I'm probably doing that with my Avengers 1 in a 4.5. It's never been pressed. White pages. What do I do? Like pressable defects? I don't. But maybe I'll get a better grade. I'm not really afraid of a 4.0 because I paid 3.0 price for it. So,
man, I love a good 4.0, man.
I would love to get a 5.5 to complete the run of every 5.5 of the Avengers 1 through 5, but for some reason, CGC, when they see my submission, they're like, all right, let's give Sammy Hagar what he wants. Can't grade higher than 55 all day long. That's pretty much.
They give it like a 6.0 and it just completely.
Oh, you want to be fine, but you're not fine enough. You're just VG plus for you're fine minus for me.
6.0. That's a good one.
You're fine. You're not quite to the good level yet, but like my Journey Mystery 85 is a 5.5. Probably can use a little work on that, but I kind of keeping that 5.5 shtick going on up there. With it's hysterical. I only have a certain number of slabs, like maybe 2, maybe 100.
Are those slabs hanging up?
No, I got them in cases. I don't really hang up much other than Thor, first Loki, Silver Surfer 4, my Defenders run, which is the first Defenders, the Marvel feature, and my beautiful 9.6 pedigree of the Hulk versus Thor, and my Doctor Strange, of course, my Iron Man 55, and then my Golden Age collection over there. There's like 4 or 5 Matt Baker covers over there right now.
Mhm.
Uh,
I know you like that 55 because it's your favorite bad boy, Thanos.
yeah, loud and clear. Which
Hey, is it Thanos or Thanos?
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yep.
Thanos is going to fuck somebody up in the chat, and I think it's Bub's Comics. Big shout out to Bub. I didn't shout you out. You showed up. Great to see Bub's in the house. And Thanos is going to fuck you up. No, just kidding. All right, who else we got? We had some other people. Oh, DS Comics. Give them a proper shout out. DS Comics is in the chat.
Okay,
And,
so here is some information from the great DS Comics about the Power #3, which I went over the graduate there. May 2020 Heritage Power 3 CGC 75, $4,320, and that was May of 2020. And this one went for $12,000. And now you've got the November of, I assume, 2020 Heritage Power 3 CGC 70 5520. So I mean, it's definitely a book that has gained some traction, and if anybody's going to watch, it's going to be DS. So thanks, Guru. So we'll have a good time. Seeing this Legend. Is there anything that wowed you? Was it the Wiz 1 getting the 72,000? Okay, I think it was a
that's a great price. That's I mean, I'm just kind of done buying. For me personally, I'm done buying that kind of like stuff like that because I'm happy with my copy. But man, it's well deserved. I mean, being a fan, I really enjoy seeing those books climb because it allows other people to learn more about the character, and you would hope they're learning about the character, at least like they know if they're going to put like a lot of money down for a character, they should know what the hell the character's about, So I think that's a good deal on all the Fawcett books, and luckily for me, I've pretty much got all the ones I've wanted, so I'm good, Great stuff though.
I thought that Starling 49 was softer than I thought it was going to be. It was a 7. Oh, was it like a 7.5? 7. I can't remember what the Starling was, but I thought I felt a little short. It was like 16.6. I think he went for.
Okay.
I think I expected a little bit more for that book.
Well, I agree with you that based on the last 2 years of sales on that book and the popularity of the Starling 49 and the Zella Schomburgs in general, and that being the Bender cover, the coup de grace to get of the Schomburg Zella, or the painted covers. For those of you that don't know, if we say Zella, we mean Alex Schomburg in paint. If we say Schomburg, we're going to say, or Alex Schomburg, we're going to do one of his other works. Probably a cap for Knights. I agree with you on that one. I maybe there's a little step back right now, possibly. A step back on the Zellas. But maybe it was just one of those days that everybody was fighting to get that Fantastic 3. You don't know. It's one of those things. We just go there. What did Bub just say? He said he picked up one. What is it?
Yeah, those are the oversized like reprints, 10x14.
Wow.
I think.
Would that be the first edition? No, the first edition's bigger. That's treasury size.
What?
Yeah.
First edition
Of what?
The first appearance of Captain Marvel, Wiz Comics 2.
Yeah, that's slightly bigger because it's the early Fawcett. Yeah,
bigger ones that had reprints of Action 1 and the Titan 7 and
all the classic
famous first editions, I think, or something like that. Yeah, first edition treasuries.
What do you?
I love those, man. I got a lot of those Shazam treasuries.
When did they come out? Those treasuries?
73, I think.
I was going to say, was it 74, 73? Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Oh, they were classic though. I only have pretty much anything that has Shazam on it.
Nice.
Dude, I never did get that boxing one, the Muhammad Ali versus.
Cool.
Back in the day, I was getting all my little things, getting all my ducks in a row. It was like when I was getting the Fantastic Four books, and dude, I just kept putting that one off, and I kept putting the Incredible Hulk versus Batman off. And
what about this one?
Oh wait, hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, I got that one. I got a high grade. I got about a 9.4 of that one.
Why don't you get
really high grade?
Why don't you get the first one ever? And this is my copy that I'm waiting to CGC to see if they'll do something with this, because
Beautiful.
this is not only is it near mint, and I'm still desperate for that original art piece that
Look at that.
was out there. This is also a historic book because it's the first ever crossover between Marvel and DC.
Oh, wow. Okay. Predates the Spidey Superman thing.
Predates the Spidey Superman.
Oh,
by me.
all right.
And it's Carmine. What it was they wanted to do the MGM on the rights. So they said, okay, you guys can do it. Fight amongst yourselves. They wanted to do it because Wizard of Oz started showing up on the TV again.
Yep.
And unlike, we didn't have a Call TV till 1983 in my house, but when people got it, the comic kind of followed the storyline of the coloring of it. So it starts off in black and white.
Nice. Hell
Right,
yeah.
right there. And then at the end of it, it shows the Oz thing, and it's got the great pictures from the movie. The work here, the cover is John Romita Sr. The editor, I think, was Carmine Infantino and Stanley, produced by Carmine and Stanley, so they were lead owners. Tony DeZuniga, and John Buscema are the artists, and the great Roy Thomas did the scripting of it, because we don't call that the writer, we call that
little Frank Castle. This is is this after Frank Castle or
no? This is before all that.
Oh man, so
Yeah,
he got violent after
This
this.
is 74. No, this is after. This is after. What year was Frank Castle? 74, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was early 74. This is after. This is after
really?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
This is after that. Yeah. So, but just beautiful copy here.
I'm a big fan of that movie. I always watched it like as a kid on TV, and my mom
I used to listen
she
to the
bought
record.
me- my mom bought me this beautiful Blu-ray box set of it, and I was like, she didn't have to do that, but I was like, holy crap! But it is pretty freaking cool to see all that Wizard of Oz. My favorite was the Tin Man.
Very cool. Ray Bolger.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about? You're saying that's the
Oh, that's not Ray Bolger. That was
classic Treasury cover of all.
What would you say there?
And that was the most classic Treasury cover of all times.
No, I'm gonna have to go with the Batman. I mean the Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, I got. Should we all get ours? I'll go grab mine.
Yeah, I'll go get it.
Everybody grab your treasuries. I know we're doing golden, guys, but we're just going over that. Some of these are we get to show what we want because we're just showing here. You got a golden age character at least in
You
there.
can't hold this in your hands.
I have
And
mine the only reason I have mine in a frame is because I used to hang on my son's wall till he touched it, so I took it down.
I just can't not smile if I look at that.
I love the back the most.
It's so good.
Oh, the first page is great too.
Yep, first page is good. Here's my copy.
Splash
Here.
is amazing.
Splash page. I love the double splash.
Yeah, the double page splash. Oh, not
Yeah.
that one. I was thinking of a different one.
Oh, okay.
When they're like
For you
facing
guys.
each other. Oh, that's dope.
The greatest superhero team up of all time, and this was right after that. And again, you're talking Carmine Infantino and Stan Lee, Jerry Conway,
Oh yeah, here we go. Group photo.
Dick Giordino, and Ross Andrew doing the artwork was great. Team photo. So you got yours in some. What is that? Some Mylar?
Yeah, it's a big. My copy is pretty freaking nice.
Oh,
So-
that's an original art Mylar. That was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Anthony to give me a case of those. Look at us. I'm holding mine raw, by the way. No floppy, no nothing on me.
What was
No.
the saying? To infinity and beyond? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I know he was the one that said up, no,
and
no,
away.
what was it? Here
Up
I
and
come
away.
to here I come to save the day, right?
You going pure raw? All right,
What's up,
let-
Doc? Yeah,
let me
well,
look, let me look at Golden Age Guru. Oh, look at that. Okay, nice. Hell yeah.
Mylar.
Using the OG art style as like a
That's
freaking
a
thing.
special one that's
That's
signed
freaking
off.
awesome.
There's like a signed something version or something, right?
Signed version? I never heard of a signed version.
Well, there is a signed version.
crazy
It was the
price.
double signed. Yeah, wasn't it Carmine and Stanley signed?
Yeah.
Correct.
on the
Hey,
inside.
let's see yours, Michael. I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, now you gotta make me take it out.
Come on, Mike.
You'd probably know.
Where's yours, Mike?
What are we doing? We taking them out?
That's
Well,
all check.
Well, I had mine in a frame.
You got yours signed? Is yours signed? Oh,
Mine's got a fake signature. It looks like it's
here we
printed.
go. I know what Michael's gonna do. Michael's gonna show us some signatures. Oh shit! Oh shit!
I think they signed on the outside.
Carmine.
There is a
Those aren't the real SIGs, so I have the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, those aren't the real SIGs.
I got it too.
I'm not opening mine up, man.
They're not the
I'm
real
opening up and read it. I mean,
Look at that.
I'm
page.
always going to get another one of these. I'm going to get one of mine that's a little wider. I like how your guys are much more
Classic.
clean
Look at
than
this
mine.
one.
But I bought
Let's look at
mine.
that one again. Look at that one right there. That's
Maybe
clean.
I'll find one this weekend. and
Yeah,
I'll-
dude, this one's really nice.
That's the one I'm looking. That's a really nice one. Yeah, maybe I'll pick up a new one this weekend. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
There's not a lot of golden age at this place, and usually they hold them off until I
This
get
is,
there.
this is like a 9.4 right here, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Look at that spine.
look at this. Okay.
And I got to talk to old Roy Thomas not too long ago on one of those.
Talent talks. Or?
Yeah, one of those things. You know, not a talent talk, but you know, the one of the Hero Initiative ones. But you know, same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Roy's one of those guys. When you have a conversation with him, you don't know where to begin. You know,
Oh,
you don't know where to begin with a guy who
when it-
literally
when it was
wrote.
just- when it was just
Oh.
me and him, we just started like we were talking about just all the crap going on. We just went from there, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Look
Oh,
at
like that Hulk punching the Man of Steel.
That is classic.
Let me get you on the big screen. That is, dude. That is a classic.
I got this book off the rack.
Oh God, I'm not gonna go back over there, but yeah, I got that one too.
And I didn't even know. I thought, I was just like, how come I never see Superman and Spider-Man together anymore? It's weird. I've never seen them together again.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know anything about them.
CLA, I'm going to say I agree with you on the JLA Avengers, George Perez artwork on that. The
But
first,
what about this? We
George
didn't talk
Perez.
about that.
which one? Lower it. We need to see it.
The Batman 19422.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we weren't. No, well we said two, so
It's a big deal for comics, right there, guys.
Yeah,
2.2 million.
we said 2 million and it went for 2.2.
I couldn't even afford the tax.
You know how I describe what happens is we'll spend money. We give people
You gotta get a reseller's license, dude.
Yeah, tell me
we-
about it. Well,
we give we give people paper with people's faces on it for other paper with people's faces on it, and that's how this thing works, man. That's all it works. Paper for paper. And I would really be shocked to see. I don't think
the beauty.
the one thing about that is the highest grade. Do
Yep.
you think that's going to start an influx of Batman ones versus the real scarce ones that you don't see ever, like
It's
the
tough to-
Fantastic Three? I don't know if
think
that's going to push anybody. You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of copies of that book and a lot in the lowerish end too. So it's been stagnant for a little while
Mhm.
now. Maybe
I think it'll push someone
But-
to try to get a grade higher.
I think temporarily it might, but not. I don't think long term.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that's it for now.
But this brings up something about an age-long fight that's always been going on ever since 1950s, 60s. Is what's better? What's worth more money? A comic book or
Yeah, the Man Rookie.
Hmm,
and yeah, they wrecked the comics with that.
yeah.
It's all right.
I did talk to one of the
made your own what is that? Is a clothing company? Dope.
yeah.
No, it's an actual. I actually read the article. I thought he owned like some type of weed of some type of stores. I don't understand from when I
One of
checked.
those weed dispensaries.
Yeah, he owned I thought that was what the gentleman did. I
Nice.
remember. Somebody can fact check that.
Oh, he did it right.
Pretty sure.
All he did was sell a fucking Mickey Mantle rookie card. Oh, but it was graded a 9. Was it signed?
No.
And it's one of 6.
Yeah.
Wow,
that
I'm
great.
really surprised it wasn't signed. He lived around the Dallas area during his older years. Well, funny thing was, Mickey Mantle's son, Mickey Mantle Jr., was a customer at my wife's pharmacy back in the day. True story. Yeah.
I shared a dry cleaner with Joe DiMaggio in Mount Vernon, New York.
Oh hell yeah! Damn.
It was one of those things where the guy's like, Joe D's here, you know. It was in this.
Too bad he
Actually,
didn't share
the
Maryland
town-
Monroe
the
with
town we call is really tough. But one of the baseball. Speaking of the baseball card versus comics, I was talking to a major baseball card guy this weekend at the pawn shop, who actually is the owner of. He's the manager of all of them, and he goes over it, and that's why I'm teaching him comics. He goes, "Oh, so it's like grading a baseball card," and I disagree with that. I said, yes, in a way, but there's only two ways on the baseball cards, front and back.
Too sad, Joe.
We've got a minimum of other pages to worry about. 28 would be the minimum, but 28 pages to worry about. So I kind of think the scarcity of the higher graded comics has more potential for flaws based on appearance alone. You might have a 9.4 and a 9.2 and a 9.0 that you may not tell the difference just on appearance right there. But on a baseball card, you'll know the difference on the appearance between a 9. And I don't know if they grade them in single or halves or 0.1s. I don't even know what they do. I mean, you know it's coming where comics are going to be, oh, that's a 7.75 and that's a, you know, I could see that happening, and then it's just going to get ridiculous. I still tell everybody, unless you're an expert grader, don't advertise your book with the number, advertise it with the grade. And the grade of the book isn't the number, it's VG, it's very good, and go on from there. You know, good, poor, no grade, fair, no grade, poor, fair, good, minus, good.
Classic.
You know, work your way on up to new man. And that's the way I've always done it. Unless I grade a book, I don't ever advertise a book if I'm selling it for a number. They say, does it have 9.8 potential? I says I would give it a near mint minus, a near mint grade. I'm not going to go near mint plus, near mint plus plus, or anything like that. Somebody asked me about this. You think you get a 9.9 out of it? And I laughed at him. I says, if I thought I could get a 9.9 out of an ASM 127, which is not 129, I damn well sure would have sent that in. But I am grading my book right now, and I hope for that one a high 9.6, maybe even I hope for it. It's very good condition. I'm not very good. It's just ridiculously clean. I mean, it's never been opened. Literally, never been opened book. It's got the whole story on it, and 6 books of the same date were in the bottom of this, and I got all 6 of them. It was my birthday month, and I own all 6 of those books. So very happy. None of them are really as spectacular as Spider-Man, pun intended. But there are better amazing books, I should say, from my own personal collection. Legend decided to take a break for a minute. So those are the ones that surprised us. Is there something you'd like? Want to go over something? Go ahead.
Yeah, there was an AF-15 5.5 signed by Ditko and Lee that sold for 72. And I just felt like one of those books that you're like, you don't know what that's going to close for. You know, like if you close at 72, it's just like a really high number. Clearly, it's for the Ditko Sig.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say
it's for the Ditko Sig.
Yeah.
Whether it's CBCS or not, whatever. So I don't know. Go take that for a grain Take that with a grain of salt. But would you have been surprised to see that book at 100,000? Like, it's just one of those. What number do you think would have been too much? Because I'm still trying to, in my head, be like, what is too nuts for that?
CGC or was it
CGC?
I would say the one thing about an AF-15 is the mid-grade level sells more than the higher grade. It's just a fact. More than the worst grades. The mid-level grade has the most room up and down. Up till you get to the 8 level and the 8.5 and up, they're a premium on their own. They're their own book. The mid-grade ones, the only comparison I have to the AF-15 is Golden Age books. So there are a lot of AF-15s out there. Do I think 72 was a fair price for an AF-15? What was it, a 7.5?
The AF-15 was a 5.5 that went for...
A 5.5.
That went for... Let me get the number here exactly. I'm pulling it up. I think it was
75 or 72, yeah.
Yeah, I thought 72.
I'm just trying to pull it up right now. 72.
72.
Same price as that Wiz one.
Right.
25.
So that's exactly where I'm getting
FF5, yeah.
FF5 9.2.
Yeah.
Which makes me laugh because are there more AF-15s or FF5s? I
Oh.
don't know, because that's probably the same month or around it at least.
Yeah, and you know what's also just really quick to touch on the whole name on the slab. Like it does sound like it doesn't verify it. So it's interesting. If anybody just wrote a note and said Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby, would they still write Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby? And then you're just going to assume it's signed by the two? Like the note says in parentheses, "Hi Charlie, glad you enjoy Steve Ditko and sincerely Stan Lee," written on page 1 in pen and marker. So if anybody wrote that, they're not really verifying a thing. They're just telling you what's written and signed.
Mm-hmm.
Could you? I mean, it just sounds like there's some
But I think
shenanigans that could happen if they're not really at least trying to make an effort and they're putting that on the label.
The one problem,
you could trace the book back, though, perhaps. I mean, if you're smart, you would want to know where did that book come from? You know, because if it ends up a dealer knows and has seen it and blah, blah, blah.
It's on an auction block. You don't know that. These people don't have access to none of that.
Well, but there's
Look at it.
there's a lot of times where I see books that I've owned before, or I know.
oh
someone.
yeah,
Sure, but there's books you haven't, and other people.
Yeah,
who
but
just
I'm
don't.
saying.
I think I got
someone
3 Jeff
who
books.
does know
Still
anything
have a
Could-
couple books.
could put a higher bid in. That's all.
Yeah.
The one thing that's Providence is pretty good is, if you don't know the story of Steve Ditko and autographs, he always responded with a letter, and he kept it short and sweet, and he always did, and they're always on an index card or whatever he had at the time. It was not on a loose leaf paper, right? It's on an index card about 5/7.
Say that again. Which
The letter, what did it look like? Like a 5x7 index card?
I don't
what
know.
letter?
That he showed the Providence. Hey Charlie, thanks for the.
Oh, there's a letter that came with this, a Providence letter.
There is
I
a
did not know
Providence
that.
letter that he
Oh,
has.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did not know that.
Yeah, there.
But
Is, I don't know if they advertised it or not, but that I've heard about the slab.
Let me take a look here.
We knew it was coming. I kind of didn't
There's
know
a
what
picture of the
people-
interior, so that's nice.
Yeah.
So I guess you can always compare it because there's a picture of it.
Now, speaking of Ditko, there's an original art piece by his in there. Do you know where that original art piece from Strange Tales 117 went? Because I did not look that up at the end of it.
It was a little lower than I thought.
Right, that's one of the things. The Silver Surfer crushed it, and that
Well,
Silver
no,
Surfer,
I don't think it was that low.
did it break 35?
I think it was more than that, but I'll look
Okay.
around for it.
Because the last time I saw a page of that quality or that many things of Ditko go for sale, at that, there you are, at that level or higher than 20,000, was the one with the first Sandman 115. There were 2 pages in there, and the one with the Doctor Strange, very cool old school Ditko style Doctor Strange, had.
Is this the one you're talking about? Like,
See, I'm gonna have to put you on the big screen because I'm
Yeah,
not wearing the glasses right now.
yeah, that one for 55,200.
Yep.
55, okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Here, let
So
me
I
click
think
on
that's
it.
a very strong price, and that shows you Ditko artwork. If you're like me, my goal is to get a Kirby Thor and a Ditko Doctor Strange. Those are my 2 biggest original art ones. Most of the other ones I have, or if it's an artist like a Simon, I've got that, or I've got the P. Seamers, I got that. Those are the 2 that I've always said are the hardest ones for me to pull the trigger on. There are more Kirby Thors than there are Ditko Stranges, but I just want that Kirby Thor. But the price value for those 2 guys on those 2 key books, or any Kirby, to be honest with you, but the Doctor Strange Ditko actually always has been very strong. Even in the old days of collecting books, those were always at a premium because they were the way that he would draw, like Gil Kane. Okay. Buscema drew from the elbows and had a lot of hashing, and a lot of his raws were raw. I mean, barely legible what he's doing. Gil and Ditko were one-liners, like they never stopped. They didn't, draw from the elbows, so to speak, as we call it. So Ditko's original artwork is just art in general, where it's not, oh, I want this piece because it's got a Doctor Strange on it, like I do, but I want it because of the different art styles that there are in comics. When you see them in their non-colored form or in the book, when you see them in that form, you really get a look of the different styles between, and then you can and it makes you smarter and more intelligent and more knowledgeable about the industry when you can recognize based on pencils alone who did what. And that's one of the things that I learned a lot working with Anthony, work with other art dealers and Mike Barkey and everything else was they said what made them learn who and what was right away. When someone says, look, I got this Buscema Thor, and he looks up and he goes, no, that is a George Tesca. And you look at it and he goes, nope. While they look similar when they're colored in your floppy or in your slab, they not necessarily are. They don't look the same when the art is without the color and everything. You see much more detail of the artist's style. That Buscema Silver Surfer, I want to explain, the Kirby Silver Surfer, that came out. That is from a much later on book. So I don't think people realize I hope the person realized that it's not a Silver Surfer Fantastic Four appearance or the Buscema run 1 through 18. It's not one of those. It is a later one done it was like a trade paperback version of it. So just throwing that out there.
Still is nice.
Beautiful. I tried, but my high was 12.5 is what I said. I could do 12.5 with the buyer's premium tomorrow. And I put it out there, and then Knight says, did you get it? I said, not even close. But that's the thing with the original art. I thought I made a very competitive bid. Very competitive, considering, you can get for 12.5 in original art, you can get a lot of things. I mean, for $45,000, you can get the Bernie Wrightson first work at Marvel cover.
What about this price? Is that
that's one thing that we should have talked about. Now, 8.5 cap 285.
384.
Oh, 384. Okay. The number on that we said on the show was 350 to 375, a little higher than there, but we're going to take that out. Do you think that how many cap ones there are? Remember, of all the Golden Age major keys of the top 10 books, or the top and superhero books, no, I'm talking Fantastic 3 anymore. That's the rarest of them all. Other than me, I'm sorry, that's the most common of them all. Sorry. There's more cap ones than there is going to be an action one. There's more cap ones than you're going to get of any of the techs, probably the Batman. More than likely I think there's over 50 or 60 out there, maybe even more right now. There's a lot of cap ones out there. It was a very anticipated book, so they didn't mess around.
I think there's 124 Batman ones graded from last time I remember looking.
Okay.
So I thought the caps were more rare than that. But regardless, 8.5 for that book. Good Lord.
Yeah, the grade is just ridiculous. So.
And there's an 8.0, right? Coming up on Comic
Connect.
No, Link. Connect or Link?
Well, I know. Well, I know he has one of a high grade one at Metro, but because it takes too long to get their books, and a lot of complaints I've been hearing from people, I'm like, all right, leave that alone. Captain America 1, 1941 from Timely. There are a lot. There are 177. Oh,
okay, way more. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, more opportunity to get one.
Yep. And there is a 9.8 out there. So 10.70s. A lot of restored, but that's a lot with Timely, so I'm not knocking it. I actually think a Cap 1 restored is just fine. I wouldn't say, I'm not going to get the 6.5 restored. I'd rather spend the money on the 1.0 fair condition. I'll take that restored book 10 times over that, So.
Inside the 9.8 Church, what is the next couple grades from the 8.5?
It almost staircases right down.
Okay.
Do right now. You've got 294s, 292s, 190. We've seen the 94, 292s, 385s, 580s, 175. That counts for anything. Well, there were 12 7.5s. Sorry, I may start over again. 198, 394s. This includes restored. If you just want to do blue label, you want me to include the restored.
Well, what blue labels are 170 something, right? That's how many
blue labels are 87 blue.
Oh, because there's 124 blue Batmans.
Right. There is a lot of more Batman, okay. But I kind of think Yeah, you're right. It's more Batman. I didn't put Batman 1. I didn't put Batman 1 as one of the. I put Tech 27 and Tech 31.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't include Batman 1, then forget it.
I don't include Batman 1. I mean, I should now because it went for 2.2, but I'm not gonna. Just because if you list your top 10 superhero comics, I think that might be 11. It depends on who you are, but I would rather have I think a Sensation 1 beats it. In my own opinion. It's just rarer.
How many Batmans total?
Total, I don't know, but I thought there was 124 blue.
So there are 177 total on the cap. So I'll just do that right now. Let's grab another one. Let's do Batman 1 while we're here. So, and while we look at the census, this is only, by the way, this is only CGC, not including CBCS. I will probably start including that because I know some people that have moved their books to CBCS since the new slab came out. Everybody's in love with those new slabs, and I'm proud of them for doing that. It's up to you what you want to do with your book. So 1940 Batman 1, there are 272 total, 124 blue labels, 7 qualified, 3 signature series, probably Bob Kane, or Jerry Robinson, right? It could be either one. It just couldn't be Bill Finger. And 138
so there's 100 more Batman ones.
Right. So I don't really I mean I was shocked at this price, but not I take this 2.2 million as the highest graded Batman 1. I don't take it as something that's going to make an 8.0 all of a sudden jump to, 700,000. I just don't see it, If you want to know what an 8.5 Batman 1 versus an 8.5 Cap 1 is, I think they'll actually be on par with each other, if not even more for the Cap 1.
Usually Batman wins. We've been having this.
It's a great debate, but I'll say that which is the first appearance and which is a 7th appearance.
Yeah, but
remember that Joker and Catwoman.
Remember that cat that just came out though? It was like less than a year ago. It was like 9.6 or 4 or something. Remember?
Cap 1's first Bucky, first Red Skull.
That was nothing compared to this Batman in price. So, right? Wasn't that only over $1 million?
Yeah. Well, that one went very high, but the 7.0 in a previous auction of the Cap went for what? 212. So you think a Batman 1 would get 225,000? Then when there are 10 of them on the, I mean, there's a lot of, that's why I don't think it's in the top 10.
Wasn't there a Batman 1 that just sold that was an 8.0 not too long ago?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good comparison, but
would you say unicorn on its own?
Yeah, would you say Batman 1 is the most expensive first major villain appearance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joker all time.
I think Joker, because Joker outdoes Red Skull. Who are the other villains we'd think would in the Golden Age would be the first major appearance?
Nobody.
You're not going to find anything in Superman even close. You're not going to find anything in Wonder Woman even remotely in the ballpark. I think it's because you have to understand. I mean, you understand exactly. You're a big Joker fan. I mean, that is if you're want your favorite hero, want your favorite villain, that's the book you have to have. You have to have that book. And to me, it was always an FF5. I had one, had a very good copy. Literally, it was very good. Got a grade of 4.5. But
hey, just last year,
3, you got a 3.5.
Last year's Overstreet says a near mint Batman 1 should only be 830,000.
But that's a 9.2 using their, because I always say 9.2 is near mint now, especially in a book like that. But I was thinking of the other villains you might have. Nothing even close. I mean, Red Skull, but you're not really collecting for Red Skull. You're getting the Cap 1.
I think
anybody in the chat think of anything?
Book Doom is the highest villain.
Probably Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hitler colors.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't if you don't pair it with a number 1 of something.
Yeah,
no, right. That's true.
Yeah, and as far as Marvel goes, it is Dr. Doom, FF5. Honorable mention to Loki, in my opinion. honorable mention to the Green Goblin, but they don't even compare because Green Goblin was, a little later on.
So
Probably those about it.
Doom for Silver Age, huh?
Doom for Silver Age would have to be the number one. And part of Batman's mystique is the villains, as opposed to the heroes where they constantly cross over and everything else like that. Batman controlled a whole bunch of villains for a long time. You had your Scarecrow, which is in the Golden Age. You had your Catwoman, which is fantastic. You had your, we went over Joker, Penguin, Riddler, all those in the Golden Age go for that. Solomon Grundy, yeah, absolutely. C. Holmes, I'm with you on that one. All America 61. If you have one, we can chat. I'm on the hunt for my Solomon Grundy. I got my first Silver Age appearance. I have one Golden Age book with him in it, not on the cover.
6.5 just sold an IG.
What do you want? What do you get?
I don't know. It was he just posted, it's like, I have to say farewell to this.
Yeah, well, I saw the one that went for 65,000, and I'm like, okay, now
what?
More than I saw, yeah.
Wait, what? When was that? Was like what grade was that, and where was that?
That was, let me see here.
Because I know 7.5s have been selling for like 25 or something. 7.0s.
This is a high. This was a while ago.
What about Lex's first appearance versus
21 or 23? Versus Doom?
Yeah.
Doom's appearance?
Because that's a pricey action comic.
Man, that's a tough one. I think Lex may be winning that one. I don't know. It's close.
7.0 sold for 30,500, and then the 6.5
win that. That's a tough one.
Where is that 9.4? It was a 9.4. I know that.
Oh, a 9.4. Okay.
Yeah,
and there's a 9.8 of it too, I believe.
Yes, there is a 9.8. I don't know which one is the Church, to be honest with you.
Probably the 9.8 because the person who owns it, who owns it has a ton of churches. So
okay,
I'm sure it's the 9.8 of it.
The 9.4 I think was a private sale. But I know that I got word from one of our cohorts that when I told him what I was interested in, I'm thinking around a 5 or a 6 or something like that. He goes, well, I'll tell you right now, if you want to know what's crazy is the 9 thing sold there. I'm like, see, I was really interested in August with that 3.5, but when it broke 5,000 for a 3.5, I took a step back. I was like, okay, I'm out of the realm. Considering it wasn't that long ago, and I'm not saying long ago at all. There are a lot of restored. The 5.5 in 14, the one that I almost bought, who was with me at C2E2. A couple of you guys, couple of fans of the show were with me there in 2014. Obviously, we didn't do the show then. Only Legend was on the air, probably. Was for 3,000 and. It went on Heritage for 3,000. The guy who bought that months before at the con, I think it was New York Con, only spent $2,000 on that book and sold it right away for 3,300. He knew what he got. Yeah, I've been looking for that book probably. I mean, I've been offered restoreds, and I've been like, and that's one of those books where I might have should have probably pulled the trigger. But
bullet go purple label sometimes.
I don't mind purple labels, to be honest with you. I mean, it depends on the book. I don't want it on anything that's not a Golden Age. I don't want a Silver Age purple label.
Yeah.
I don't want anything that's post 1945, 46 probably, regardless of the book. And it's just my own opinion. I mean, you guys everybody judges their own, but I don't think there are books that look really cool, like House of Secrets 92, and a blue label looks like shit compared to the green and the purple. It just looks cool, But I would never get a purple label bronze.
Yeah. Here we go, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the
classic
8.5 last year. And this is for the Doom. What is it? I don't know if that last one was the highest ever though, but it was.
I doubt it. It was a 9.2 that just sold, right?
Yeah. For 72K.
How much?
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now because I think it is. I think it is. If not, it was. Hang on.
So.
Oh, look at this! Right away, it comes up. Fantastic 4.5.
You got to give it to the action then.
Mm-hmm.
72K. That's
Because
Mr. Luthor's first appearance.
if there's a 9.2, then should go 100K.
Yeah, there's a debate, like Bub says, of the Lex that had hair and the Lex that didn't have hair. And
Well, did you remember the story of how he lost his hair?
Superman was involved in somehow, right?
Yes, he was. There was a fire at LexCorp, and his father's was running LexCorp at the time, and Superman went to go save him, and it just didn't work out for him. He lost all his hair, some kind of chemical or something like that, and then he hated Superman ever since. That is the highest price ever for a Fantastic Four, at least in the last 15 years. So just let you know, the 9 on that book,
So
there are
DC
17. There are 17 9.2s. Okay, 3 9.6s. This is Universal. There are 16 of those. 13 9.4s, by the way. And that book, the 9.2, the last sale of a 9.2 wasn't that long ago. Because I remember seeing a 9.2 sell, and that sold on Comic Connect in December of last year for $65. So the bump was only 7,000, but 7,000 in a month is over 10%. It is a 14.3% increase according to this. So very impressed by that.
Well, we always say that, the highest level, the highest grade, and the lowest entry level grade of a rare book are the two most unpredictable.
But they're not. That's not even close to the highest grade. He's got 15 peers and 16 books graded higher.
Oh,
So I the Doctor Doom.
Wow.
Absolutely. When you asked between the Wiz 2 and the Doctor Doom Fantastic Four, I said I'll never ever would pay that for that 9.2. Not knocking the guy who did it. Congratulations for getting it and having the gusto to do it. But it's not like you overpaid, in my opinion, by any means. It's just something I personally wouldn't do for that book. I think it's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite characters.
I'm happy with my 5.0. I'm happy.
Yeah,
with my 5.0.
I actually have. I like my Doom original artwork. I have several pieces of Doom in original artwork, so drawn by everything from Buscema to all the way to MC Wyman and Sam De La Rosa.
Oh yeah, Sam is great.
You still think I did a good choice? I traded my Doom first appearance part of the my Marvel 1 purchase.
I traded my first 5 Fantastic Fours for an SUV. So I was having a baby. What do you want me to do? I'm curious. We were having a baby the first time, and the choice was: do I get rid of do I get rid of the BMW, or do I just get another car? And I looked over, and a guy who's been hounding me for those books was like, "Yeah, I'll give you all of them." And he cracked him out right in front of me. There was a 4.5. He cracked him out right there. He said, "I'm taking these things and press them because I know you didn't press these books because you never pressed the book until like that year." I never sent my book. I was one of those guys that I would hate myself now. I was like, "You're ruining the book. You're smashing it. Don't smash." I used to call it the smash. I used to say, was the book smash, like on the CGC boards, don't smash the book, But I didn't understand I didn't understand. I wasn't as educated about restorations, and I always thought that the integrity of the book might be jeopardized. And then I realized it's no different than just stacking a bunch of books on it like we used to do. I used to do that too all the time.
Yeah, but to be fair,
they press with water around it.
Some messed up stuff too at that point. Remember with the whole sliding the spine creases a little bit towards the back.
I watched the guy with one of them baking rollers do this thing for 30 minutes on one. I said, every time you roll back, it's going to come back, buddy. You need to go one way, and that ain't going to work. It's not going to work. But this is when restoration people were trying to press and clean their own books when they saw that, whether it be Joey Post or Mike Tachillis or something like that was making a nice chunk of change on books, doing the pressing and doing the CGC service. It was a great business. Then people, started doing their own. And I don't think it was until I got that How to Clean and Press Comic Books book that I actually understood it.
That's that Captain Mike book, right?
Yeah, I have it right there. the only book that's read more for me is How to Grade Comics, and those are the two books I've always like. If you had to put your
How to
hand
Grade
up to
is
me
a good one.
and swear an oath, that book right there, How to Grade Comics, is a swear the oath book because there's
Good
so
book.
much information there. The Overstreet Guide, and
Mhm.
I don't really like. I love the price guide for the articles. Jeff, great job. I love the articles in Overstreet. I'm a big fan of that. I do spend the money for them just to read those articles.
That's exactly.
I know what the books
me
are
too.
worth.
I go for the articles, the
Yeah.
storylines, all that good stuff.
But I love the How to Grade Comics.
Because
Overstreet Guide.
if it's the big boy books, and those 4-figure books, you're gonna know what the hell you're looking for. You're gonna know what they've been selling at. You're gonna use the online resources like GPA analysis. The Go Collects. You're gonna get into that kind of stuff. So,
Yep.
oh yeah, that's I used to have I sold my first 2 editions. Actually, there's a 3rd and 4th edition. Does yours have Harley on the cover?
No.
Is the Batman Adventure 12?
No, I have a Suspense 3, Silver Age Cap 100, first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got the first time Wally West comes in. It's a pedigree. What's that? Flash 127. Oh, it does have the Harley on it. Yeah.
I think I got that copy. That's
Yeah.
the newest copy, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't think you need any other one. I mean, there's an Overstreet Guide to cosplay. Okay, so let's get where we go. For comic and animation art, I don't use that. And no offense, Overstreet, I love your work on almost everything. Your animation art and everything else like that needs to get more experts in there to tell you more information.
That book has a nice bar graph too that shows the flaws. Yeah. How many flaws it would detract from and the bar. That graph is pretty instrumental.
Here's the strong sale of the Weird One.
Yeah.
Here it is, right? And you got the shield. But this tells you what's a near mint. Now this is a 9.2 according to this. But again, they just probably image of it. And it looks for everything. And what I like the most about this is when it tells you if you have a tear on the book, like a little piece missing out, that whether it's a 16th inch and an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/4 of an inch piece missing out, the best you can get according to that. Now, again, CGC graders are not using this to grade.
Yeah.
Just remember that. CBCF graders are not using this to grade. This is a guide.
Just a guide.
It's just a guide, but it will help.
ETA Dick always used to say, "It's just a guide. It's just a guide." I just remember him saying that.
But I love all the what it can tell you. Here's the funny thing is, we for a 9.2 near mint weird one, but somebody's going to show me a fine giant size comic number 1, Conan number 1. I bet you I can get a 9.8 out of that thing in about 9.8 out of one of my boxes right now in this.
Out of a square bound like that?
Yeah, I got so many of those. Yeah, I mean, I have such a beautiful copy of that one. I have a Western Pen copy of that one. I don't necessarily have. I should be grading those my Western Pen soon. Stay on the lookout for that because I waited for the new label and then I'm waiting them for. I need Providence. I need to find the Providence on one. And I can't find it because it's the only. I had a group of them that I bought on the secondary market, and one from one dealer and some from another, and one I got off the interweb that came with the Providence, but it's the same sticker I have with the Novas, the Nova 1, which I already sold. Sorry, I sold my Nova 1 Western Pen. I had to. The price I was getting for it at just before Baltimore, when we were going to Baltimore, that pretty much paid for my Baltimore trip. I brought a raw version of that book and got a higher grade of that book when I was there. So, but it was a Western Pen, and there was no, and the pedigree label was not on it. But my Nova 1, I had the Nova 1 Western Pen. Got a lot of the Thors. Most of the Thors of that 72 to 73, like all 6 of them, or 8 of them. 8 of the 12 I have for that year of the Western Pen. So,
dude, that's awesome.
Well, it's my pedigree. I always say it's the pedigree I went to. It's the pedigree I watched the whole story on. I went to the story behind it. They actually have a scent to them if you own them. It's very faint, but if you keep it in a Mylar and just right, when you just crack it the first time, you get a little cedar smell in there. And that's one of the trademarks of a Western Pen. One of the 4 or 5 trademarks, other than the most gorgeous White Pages book you ever find.
They always say Don Rosa's pedigree smelt like chili peppers, chilies. And whenever you open those bags up, boy, them chilies, they real hot.
The Don Rosa chili pepper eating contest we had.
Damn, that was god insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what can you tell us about this robot here, Michael?
It's a big one.
That is a big boy.
Is that from 81, 82?
Yeah.
Yep, I've seen that one a few times.
It's metal. There's a lot of metal to this. That's why these guys are sticking.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is from 1981?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if my brother may have had this thing, those legs, how their legs go like that, and the magnetic people on
Very heavy metal. Diecast.
Yeah, this robot looks pretty familiar here. My brother may have had one of these. What's the name of this robot anyway?
Tetsujin or Gigantor.
Yeah, Gigantor.
Gigantor, yeah. This is a great phrase here by the Wookiee himself, Solo Wookiee. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I was 32 and I figured out you buy comics for the pictures and Playboy for the articles. Who knew? I'm going to have to save that as one of our top 10 quotes. Definitely our best quote.
Golden Age Gigantors.
Okay, well, that's freaking cool.
Now, they're from what year, those?
1956.
Nice.
Yeah.
And those and they're opposite. I was talking to a manga guy this week as well at the pawn shop because it was kind of a collector showcase. We had a gun show in town as well, so everybody was going to the pawn shops to see what you can get when they couldn't buy at the there. But there are a lot of collectors, and one of the things about cons is there are people that go to cons for the sake of going to cons. So
very very small. These would come free with the big phone books. They got lost a lot. They just threw this stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't collect them in Japan.
It's a fun thing to search for, and it's not as much as Batman 2 or Batman 1 or 2.
So
that's
good.
Shipping keeps getting more and more pricey.
Yeah. So, I
gotta get going, guys.
Yeah, we gotta call it. I gotta get some stuff done. Well, first, anybody want to shout anything or promote anything? Guru,
I want to thank.
Always advertise your claim sale on here because they're
the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
man. I'm gonna have a claim sale on Friday and Saturday this week on Instagram under Golden Age Guru. Don't quite have a time yet, but tentatively Fridays are going to be around 12 or 1 Pacific Standard Time. Probably go 4 or 5 hours, and then again Saturday. And I'll be posting some pics today and all through the week. So follow me on Instagram at Golden Age Guru.
Please put your alert message on for that because you don't want to be the guy like me who says, well, let me think if I want number 4. Oh, that should be good. It really is a quick ClaimBot sale. It is a ClaimBots. There are people that I have seen Jeff put up 5 books up and take 6 off the rack. I don't know how he does it. It's one of the most amazing things about his claim sales. Everything goes, everything must go, and he does make in the prices he offers, and his grading is very conservative. I've heard, and I will tell you that's one of the best things about anybody's claim sales. The one I watch, I'm always there in the background lurking around, is always with the Golden Age Guru.
And he does trade for livestock
or ammo. We're out of ammo. I only have 80 shells left. Okay, Legend, how are you doing over there?
Doing good. Come by the Great Legend Show pretty soon. We're gonna be showing off a Fawcett Golden Age book that's gonna be an upgrade to the collection. So stay tuned for one of those future videos, and come check us out on Fridays, Comic-Core Roundtable. You never know what's going to happen over there, JD.
You certainly do not. I actually have a piece coming in that I've been waiting for. It's Celebrity Sign, which I only have 2 or 4 Celebrity Sign things. It'll be coming in combination with original art framed. Very excited about that. The artist himself said I'll do one better. I also, just so that you know, I just sent got a piece from one classic artist, and I reached out to another one to ink it for me. And these are well done, and I think I got a great combination. I'm not telling the names on air. I'll tell these guys afterwards. I just got a nice little Thor sketch, and I'm working on another commission with the great Mark Teixeira right now. And if anybody's interested in commissions, there's a couple of guys on Facebook now that are handling a lot of work for different artists directly, and they usually have 10 spots available, and it's anything from a head sketch to a comics to a comic cover. And the big thing now is those amazing Spider-Man. I guess it's like a web cover thing going on. I'm not into it, but 55, I don't think 55, whatever it is, it's like a blank sketch, but it's a darker cover, so it starts off black or red. That's what a lot of people are getting sketches on now. I think it's absolutely fantastic that it's happening again. Because for a while people weren't. I was one of the few guys that liked the fact that you can buy a head sketch or everything else or this for $150, but I'll do a comic cover for you for $40. So I got a lot of comic covers because I'm sitting there. I can get more artists and do that quicker than I could anything else. Nowadays, not so much. Now I'm hearing almost $150 for a comic head, no matter if it's an artist of good quality. But again, thank you guys very much. Thank you all for being a friend. We're here at Shady Acres telling you all, don't forget to tip your waitresses and don't forget to kiss your babies. Have a good night, everybody. I'll start the theme song in a second. Anybody else want to say anything real quick while I figure out how to do this again? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can always do did you say maybe it was Green Acres?
Nah, Shady Acres, the home.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.